Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Talon, the Tech Merc, and today I've got this really crappy PC with me, and it's one that I got from my grandparents. So I'm going to open it up inside, and we're going to clean it out, going to see if it works. It's still running XP, so we're going to not only clean it out physically, take a look inside the case, which I haven't done yet, but we also are going to go into Windows and clean out all of the extra stuff because you know how grandparents are with viruses and all of that. So yeah, let's get this started. All right, so first we're gonna look at the current condition of this. So the top side panel isn't too dirty, it's pretty clean. Now when we take a look around up on the top, we're starting to see kind of some what could have been spills, I'm not entirely sure. And then on the other side panel is kind of the continuing of all of those spills. It looks like coffee or hot chocolate or something like that. It really is disgusting. And then around front here is where our CD drives are. And this is, yeah, this is pretty ugly, nasty. It's gonna take more than some compressed air to get rid of that. And then the true atrociousness is around the back. If you look closely in these USB ports, they actually are mostly completely filled with dust, and it's pretty filthy disgusting, but hopefully we can clean all of this up. But now for the moment of truth, we're gonna take a look inside and see how bad it really is. So yeah, that's really, really bad. The case itself is covered in a lot of dust here, especially on the CPU heatsink. That's where a lot of it has collected. I'm not even sure how this thing is still working, honestly. There's also another layer of thick dust on the motherboard and basically everything inside of here. Fans are really gunked up, so let's see what we can do to fix that and find a solution to all of these problems. All right, so now we're in the garage. We've got our computer here, and we are going to wipe down and clean the outside. So the case is what's going to be cleaned here. It's filthy, disgusting. Like you saw earlier, a lot of just grime and gross stuff is all over this thing. So we're going to get rid of all that right now. If you're doing something similar with a computer of your own, make sure to keep as little water out of your computer as possible. If you get a drop or two or a little bit inside the case, it should be fine as long as your computer isn't on, which it shouldn't really be if you're cleaning it anyways. And if you do get water on the inside, make sure that it is able to dry out completely before you try to turn your computer on again. So without further ado, let's get this sucker clean. So now we are out in the shop and we are going to tackle the dust inside of this. So a thing to note is that if you do have access to a legitimate air compressor, you want to use a legitimate one as much as possible because the ones that come in the cans have other chemicals in there that actually do have a chance of breaking and ruining whatever computer you're cleaning. So if you do have access to one of these, I recommend you use it, ask a friend, whatever. If not, try to look for ones specifically meant for computer cleaning, and those will be your safest option. But yeah, let's exterminate some dust. Alright, so we are back inside from the shop, and a lot of dust came out of this thing. You guys saw that. I was actually really impressed about how much dust was in here, and also kind of impressed that the computer was still functioning before this. So there is still a thin layer of dust on the motherboard and some other areas here, and I'm not going to worry too much about getting it 100% squeaky clean because I won't be using this computer again. It was a donation. So what you can do if you are cleaning it out for yourself is grab a small paintbrush, and then when you wipe away at the PCB or whatever area has dust, spray it out with your air compressor, and then that is how you'll be able to get a lot cleaner of a look. So physically cleaning, we're basically done. So yeah, all that's left is now to clean up Windows. That's gonna be great. All right, moment of truth time. Gonna see if this thing still boots. Computer turns on. There's definitely fan spinning. And we're looking good so far. Yep, still works. That's good to know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, we're gonna kind of look and see what's there and see how bad it is. We're also gonna take a quick look at the specs, and then we will probably reinstall Windows just to get rid of everything. So yep, that's our plan. So we're here to desktop now. Let's see what's on here. We've got several eBay links and just some general documents. I'm actually kind of surprised at how clean this is. So now we get to take a look at Task Manager. All right, so we just had the system freeze up and we restarted it a couple times, got it working again. And now we've got here CPU-Z so we can look at our specs, and then we've got Task Manager open right now. So this computer's been on for maybe a couple of minutes, and we're sitting between 75 and 90% CPU usage. And yeah, that's not great, but it kind of depends on the CPU. It is really old. So taking a look here at CPU-Z, we have an Intel Pentium 4 CPU at 2 gigahertz, 1 core, and 1 thread. That is incredibly low. It's kind of hard to find less than 4 now. So let's see how much RAM we've gotten here. And we do have DDR RAMs, not even DDR2, just DDR, and only 512 megabytes of it. That's half a gigabyte of RAM of DDR. So this thing is like, it's super old. And then I'm kind of afraid to look at the graphics and see what we're running here. And yeah, we're running the integrated graphics on a 1 core, 1 thread CPU. That is definitely probably one of the worst computers I've ever seen. But you know, let's reinstall Windows and see if we can get this performance to be any better. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so about a minute later, we got to this screen here, and we are going to select the administrator and then log in. So this is putting into safe mode, and then this will give us access to command prompt, which is where we actually give the command for it. So once you get into the command prompt here, you're going to want to enter in the command %system root %. This is all one line, by the way. /system 32 /restore /rstrui.exe. Now that command will be in the description, and it should be right here on your screen. So after that runs, we have welcome to system restore right here, and we are going to restore my computer to an earlier time. That's our only option. Next, and then we choose a restore date. So restore, pick another day and restore point and then try again. So we're just gonna go with the automatic one, selective, go with next. Please pick a point. Alright, so a little bit of research and troubleshooting later, I have learned that we do not have a restore point on this computer, so there is no image to restore back to. So the only other option at this point would be to reinstall Windows XP with an ISO and do everything fresh like that. I don't have an ISO with me, so I'm gonna end the video here, but the rest of the process should be outlaid for you guys if you're following along so far in the rest of Windows. So if you do have a restore point, you hit next here, and then you should be able to just follow what instructions come up. But as far as I go, yeah, we physically cleaned this thing out. We tried to reinstall Windows and cleaned it out software-wise. So yeah, that about does it for the video. If you guys have any questions about the process or any of my experience, be sure to ask down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.